Good afternoon. You are welcome back to the Introduction to High School Scientific Calculator Tutorial Part 3 by a computer engineer and mathematics tutor. We say that you can subscribe to Frank Yaopong YouTube channel to receive alerts of all our tutorials. Let's move back to business. In our previous tutorial, we were able to enter or follow the right way or format to enter mixed fractions on our calculator. Today, we are moving to how to set up the calculator. How to set up our calculator. Now, so as usual, we are using the calculator simulator as you use your own hardware calculator. While I use the calculator simulator, we also be using the SharpBrain calculator tutorial guide by Frank Yaopong. As you move through step by step the tutorial, you are going to get every bit of the tutorial to achieve your aim. Now, at the bottom of the screen, we say when you want a copy of the book, you can call the number and you will be provided. Setup. I suggest that you now change back to computation mode by following the steps we discussed earlier in this book. Now, in our first tutorial, we try to learn how to reset our calculator. Now, when you are moving from one mode to different mode, you have to reset your calculator as we used to know in our previous tutorials. So, in any mode, the calculator can be set up in various ways. You can access this by pressing Shift followed by Mode. Shift followed by Mode. When you do this, you will notice that there are two screens in the setup menu, and you can move from one to the other using the top and down cursor of the key. So now, let's look at these two screens. You want to move to a particular mode of your calculator. You have to first press Shift, then you press the mode. Now, why are we pressing Shift and mode? We want to enter calculator setup. There is a setup label on top of this key, and that is in a golden color label. In our previous tutorial, we learned that before you press on any key label the golden color, you have to first press on the Shift key first. So we want setup. We have to first press the Shift before we press on the setup to get access to this. Now, what you are seeing here, you are seeing a setup numbered 1 to 8. That is not the only setup here. There are others. There is a small arrow on the top of the calculator screen. A small arrow. It means that there is another second screen as you see here inside the book. So when you press the down key, so here you press the down cursor of the cursor control key. When you press it, it will send you to the second screen. Now we are there. The second screen. It also has 1 to 8. Now, let's know the meaning of these setups. So we go back to the initial one. Good. Now, the first one is Math IO. math.io. When we say your calculator is in math.io, that is the normal default mode of the FS991 scientific calculator. That is the default mode, math.io. Now, we have a line.io. Number 2, a line.io is how your calculator is being presented on the screen, as we used to know from the MS scientific calculator. MS scientific calculator. Now, with that, you find difficulties in entering fractions exactly as you see on the question paper. But if you want to enter fraction exactly as you see on the WAEC question paper, then your calculator should be in math.io, the default IO, the default mode of the calculator. Good. The number 3 is degree. Number 4 is radian. Number 5 is gradient. Number 6 is fixed. When we say fixed, from this tutorial we will be going to real numbers. You will start the real number as a topic. Or the real number is a very broad topic, which we can manipulate our calculator to solve a lot of questions. For example, in the real number class, your teacher taught you significant figures, scientific notation or standard form, decimal places. All this number presentation or approximation, as we used to know, can be easily be done with the calculator. So with this fix, when we get to real number system, you'll be using this fixed mode to solve every question on significant figures. Then number 7 is the scientific notation. We will be using that, and this is the normal mode. We will turn back to normal when we are from any other mode. Very good. So when you move to the next screen, that is what we see the next screen. The one is a mixed fraction. A mixed fraction. If you have answers in any other mode and you want to convert that answer in a mixed fraction, as we learned in the previous tutorial, we can use this mode to convert answers to mixed fraction. The number 1 means mixed fraction, A whole number, B over C. The 2 mean that improper fraction. 3 is a complex number. 4 is statistics mode. When we get to probability and statistics, you'll be using this statistics mode. This is table. Number 5. You'll be using this in frequency distribution tables. You'll be using this in quadratic interpretation, quadratic graph. You'll be following this modes in our subsequent tutorials. Okay, now let's deal with for example, the number 1. Should we have, let's say, a fraction, let's say 74 divided by 3. 74 divided by 3. When we press the equal to sign, we are getting 24 whole number 2/3. Why? We are getting this because I have already sent my calculator in this mixed fraction mode. Let me move back to normal. Shift mode. Shift mode. Very good. Then I go to the second screen. When I press the number 2, my answer should change from the mixed fraction back to what? The improper fraction. So if I want my answer to be in mixed fraction, then when I move to shift mode and I go to the next screen, mixed fraction is number 1. I choose it and I get 24 whole number 2/3. This is great.